crisis, which I must tell you, you need to get it. You need to read it. Honestly, when Big Bro talks about renewing your mind, that book is going to completely renew your mind about who we are as human beings. So I want to welcome, let's come on, put our hands together and welcome Lincoln Bain.
Good evening, everyone. They tell me I got 5 minutes, so I can take 15. Okay, all right. So I got to play with this thing in my hand. Tonight I'm going to speak to you on a very topic, and it's almost impossible for me to give you this entire topic in 15 minutes that I'm going to be speaking to you. I advise, like she said, all of you to get that book, because there's no more important thing than understanding your identity. I think that is the biggest crisis in the world today. Men don't know who they are, women don't know who they are. We don't know who we are as a country. Businesses don't know who they are and what they do. Identity crisis is what these children that are attacking each other are going through. The people in Fox Hill, it's because they have an identity crisis. If they know who they are, they wouldn't be having the problems that they're having. So today I'm going to talk to you about discovering the male identity. Discovering the male identity. It's a serious topic. We're gonna go a little bit deep. Someone say go deep.
Go deep.
So we're gonna start off with I was gonna ask you that same question. What is a man? We already asked that question. And so I think we realized that that's one of the most difficult questions to answer. And if you ask 1 million people what is a man, you get 1 million answers. 1 million different answers. Because people don't really know what a man is. But we can talk about that a little bit. And so I'm not timing myself, so you'll have to help me with that. All right, the first thing you want to do, and if you have a pen and pad, you might want to use it. Let's go back to, someone say etymology.
Etymology.
Anyone know what that means? That means to study the background, the origin of words, the use and the history of a word, what it means. Meanings are found in words. The first word you want to study, of course, is man. Where does that word come from? Where do we get that from? Well, it comes from the word manu. Manu. If you're writing, you can write it down. And that's where we get the word manufacture, which means to make by hand. That's where we get the word manicure, which means to care for the hand. Isn't that strange? Man actually means hand. Gonna go on. Manuscript means written by hand. Manumission means set free from control. And manual, which means done by hand. So man actually means hand. Why does man mean hand? What's that about? It means control. It means that you're in control of something when you are a man. What is a man in control of? I know all of y'all say the woman would wait. We get to that. So, if you're in control of something, it means that you are a leader, right? A leader is in control. That's what makes you a leader. So, what is leadership? Anyone? Leadership. Anyone? Just shout out answers. Leadership. What's leadership? Everyone's shy. This one says influence. What's leadership?
Being able to take charge, to initiate, and to empower others. Okay,
good answers. Both of y'all have some good answers. We're going to get to what it is in a little bit later, but within every man is a leader. You have the meaning of what man is? Within every single man is a leader. Every man. Every man in front of me is a leader. You got to understand yourself in a minute. This is why you don't like people controlling you. This is why you didn't like the prefect in school. This is why you don't like police. You don't like people lording over you. This is why you can't get along with your supervisor. You weren't made to have people lording over you, because inside every man is a leader. And so, if every man is a leader, who's the follower? Who's going to follow? Anyone? Y'all know y'all was saying the woman.
I was thinking that.
What do you think?
I think every leader is a follower as well.
You say every leader is a follower as well. Well, we can get to that in a minute. But every leader is a leader. Every man is a leader. So someone say go deep.
Go deep.
And here's where we come into some problems sometimes. Because they define a man historically by roles. And I got a chance to speak to a women's seminar that she had earlier, and I got to say the same piece I'm going to tell you in a minute. Historically, we started to be defined by roles, and it was because of economics. We used money to determine who was in charge, and economics. And then that started to cause a problem. Let me break this down for you. In the beginning, back in the day, everything was determined by physicality, your physical stature. It determined how you provided. And so the man, because of his makeup, could go out far and hunt. The woman had to stay close to the house and gather and be in the kitchen, if they had kitchens back then. But that started to change over time. Over time, that started to change. Something happened. And it was called the industrial age. The industrial age meant that the machines were now doing the work. The machines were the physicality. So you didn't really need strength. You just press a button. Just move a lever. And so it was like, okay, this is getting easier. And then what really swung it in the other direction is World War I and II, where the men went off to war and the women had to stay home. And while millions of men were out fighting, the women had to make the bullets and the guns. And the cups and napkins and everything else would be used. And so when the men came home, it was like, okay, the woman isn't in the house anymore. She's at work. And she's also making money. I need her in the kitchen. Woman, I know you've been working for 8 hours, but I need you in the kitchen too. And so things started to change. Then it got even worse. Something happened called the industrial age. Sorry, not the industrial age, the information age. The information age happened, which means you didn't even need physicality because everything is done. Everything is information. And the majority of work done is done in an office. Because it's not done in a factory anymore. So the word manufacture is kind of out the window. Even though they still manufacture, the machines do it. Now women can work in there. And now it's really information, and most income is from an office today. The majority of money is made in an office. In fact, companies don't even own anything anymore. Nike doesn't own a factory. They've never made a pair of shoes ever. Ever. They get it made somewhere in China or Vietnam somewhere. They own intellectual property. They own a swoosh. And so what happened in the information age is that us fellas, we had a nice car because we had a construction job, and we started dropping our girlfriends off to college while she was getting education. We kiss her by, mwah, and she goes get education while we were still banging and hammering. And then now it's switched. The woman is now able to get a job easier than a man. So it's easier for a woman to make money because they men got educated. What do we do? Construction job. The Great Recession hit, where they weren't building houses anymore. And now where are we? The roles have changed. So now who are we? We're in a crisis. Before, we were identified by the fact that we could feed our women. We could take care of our children. Now, the woman can do that. So where are the roles? Do you know what happened? Because these roles started to cause confusion, it led to a lot of divorce and a lot of strife in the home. Confused roles, a lot of arguments. You can't talk to me like that. Hey, go on. Before, you had to stick together. Because you had a role, I had a role. I need you, you need me. Miss, I can't cook. I'm sorry I brought you up. I need you, baby. I need some sardine. Please. I'm sorry. Honey, don't leave. I'm sorry I was nagging you. The light bill do. You needed each other. But then it got to the point where you didn't have to get along anymore. Someone say go deeper. Go deeper. So now man is suffering from an identity crisis. An identity crisis. I'm going to pull something from my book. The definition of the word identity. most people don't even know what identity means. Most people, when they think of the word identity, they think that it's what makes you unique. Your identity is what separates you from the next person. That's right, right? Yeah. It is what unique. They say your fingerprint is your identity because it's separate, different from everyone else's fingerprint. That sounds right, right? Yeah. You have your own unique identity. That's right? Yeah. That is absolutely incorrect. Someone say etymology. Etymology. Let's go. Let's define the word identity. Identity is from the Latin word idem, which means the same. I just blow anybody's brain just now? Yeah. We're going to go even, someone say go deeper. Go deeper. Okay. The word evolved from the Latin word identitas, which means the quality of being identical. See the similarities in the word? So the word identity has less to do with determining who you are and more to do with determining who you are like. Hence, the link to identical. One of the Merriam-Webster's definitions of identity is sameness in all that constitutes the objective reality of a thing. Oneness. Therefore, the root of a man's identity crisis is not because he does not know who he is, but because he does not know who he is like. You were made in the image and likeness of God. That is where you get your identity from. That is your identity. When you understand that, it will change your life forever. Why do they call a driver's license your identity? Why do they call it that? Because that's a picture on it that looks just like you. It's the same. That's what identity means. Sameness, oneness, and we have forgotten who we are. And this is where the problem comes in. And this is why you shouldn't copy people. In fact, the word Homo sapien,
Thinking man.
yeah, it means actually, the deeper meaning means wise man. Sapien means wise. But the word homo, which is the Latin word for man, if you didn't know that, means same. Like homosexual, same sex. Homo means same, man. It's about your ability to be the same. The Hebrew word for man is Adam, which is an offshoot of the word of what God calls himself, I am. Someone say go deeper. So you are all kings, and you are kings and you have a domain. I'm going to have to, I think I got to cut it short, right? You ready?
No.
No? You want me to keep going? Go deeper? As a man, you have a domain. Man has a mandate to manage. Man has a mandate to manage. That is your mandate. That is what you are. That is what you do. You are a king. And every king has a domain. And your domain is not necessarily territory. It is your gift or your gifting. It is what you were sent here to do. You were sent here to bear fruit. Be fruitful and multiply wasn't talking about sex at all. You were sent here to bear fruit. Leadership actually is not being someone's boss. Leadership is bearing fruit. Everyone has something that they were made to do. Everyone has something that they were sent to do. And it's your job to do that. Let me tell you what is the best way to get a woman. The best way to get a woman is not to go to the gym or get a facelift. The best way to get a woman is to be in your element, to be about something, to be doing something. Women are more attracted to that than anything else. Women were made to be attracted to a man who is doing his thing. Women, am I right?
Yes.
That's only two to one.
There was actually a psychological study, it's an actual proven psychological study, where they showed a bunch of women some men, and they told them their careers. And some they would say, okay, he's a garbage man, okay, he's a plumber, etc. And it turns out that the men who they said were in the best careers or making the most money seemed more attractive to these women. Then they switch it. The men who they gave the lower jobs, they gave the higher jobs, better careers this time, and all of a sudden they became the more attractive men. It's not because women are gold diggers or want money. It's because they are attracted to men who are doing their thing. You get it? You get it? Yeah. They're gonna shine. So this is the great mystery. What is a man? We're gonna ask you this again. What is a man? There we go. God defined what a man is. In the beginning, he said he created man, right? And then he said, male and female created he them. And he gave them dominion. Them. He did not give male dominion, he gave them dominion. Man, the Hebrew word Adam, actually meant man, male and female. He gave them dominion. The man was not meant to dominate or rule over womankind, if that's a word. Man and woman were meant to work together. I'm going to tie that down and make that make sense to you in a minute. Because he gave them dominion. Anyone read that before? Yeah. And so now that's confusing, because then we started to take roles and we started to say, okay, the man is the head of the house. Actually, he is. But that doesn't mean he's the head of everything. That doesn't mean a woman can't be president or CEO of a company that men working for. We kind of mix things up. There was a little clue that happened, and it's called alone. God looked down and he said, oh, it's not right that man should be alone. And we don't really understand what that means when God said man shouldn't be alone. The actual word there was badad. That's a Hebrew word, badad, which is actually the word bad or dysfunctional. It said that it is not right that man should be dysfunctional. He actually looked at man and said, on his own, he's dysfunctional. And he said it is not right that man should be dysfunctional. God looked down and said that. Whenever men are having marital issues or issues like that, they become dysfunctional. You remember Mike Tyson when he got knocked out from Buster Douglas?
Yeah.
He was just dealing with a nasty, nasty divorce. He was a nasty separation. And one of the greatest fighters ever couldn't even beat a nobody. Remember Tiger Woods after he got this little issue and this little set? Remember he couldn't win a game for nothing in this world? Whenever you become separated or alone, you become dysfunctional. When you have marital stress, you can't function. When you are alone, it's difficult for you to function. This is a reality, and God is the one who noticed that. And that's why it said he created a helpmeet. The most important decision you will make is who you marry in your life. There's no greater decision. He made for him a helpmeet. What does that mean? Helpmeet. We kind of misunderstand the word help. We start to see help as someone subservient. But if your car breaks down and I come and help you change your tire, you are not my boss. I helped you. Help does not mean someone subservient. That means someone who's going to come and assist me with my mission. Meet means equal, sufficient. He gave him help, he brought the cows and the horses and the oxes and the goats. They were help, but they were not the same as him. They were help that is the same. She was help that is the same. And equal in all ways. So man is not male. Man is actually the male and the female. When you come together, you become man. When the two become one, they become a man. Until then, you are male. Being a male is not great. Animals are males. There's a male cat. What does that mean? There's a male rat. There's a lot of males out there. You become a man when you become complete. That's powerful. Somebody clap at that. I know someone will let me. Go get my book. Listen, I can leave that right there because I think I have time. One of the most important roles you have is to be a mentor. The word men is in there also, mentor. And so it is one of your most important roles. You call it a successor. You are a mentor to your family. You are a mentor to everything that is around you. You are a mentor. And you are on a mission. You're on a mission in life. You must find that person that you're to be with, to become man with. You find that person you're to be with to complete your mission and mentor your children and mentor those around you. That is what it means to be a man. First, you realize your identity, which is you are a copy of God. So is a woman. Your sex organ doesn't make you bigger or smaller. When you come together, it becomes complete. Marriage means to become one. The word they used there was actually the word fusion. Fusion means to create heat and melt and become one, no separation. That's why in law, they don't see the man and woman as separate. A woman can't even give testimony against her husband. That's like giving evidence against yourself. You don't have to. You must become one. So finding that right person in your life is the most important thing you can do. That is how you become a man. I know that's a different perspective. I know they tell you you become a man when you can provide for your family, etc., etc. Providing has nothing to do with it. Man is male and female. They come together to do a mission together. They asked you this question earlier, but now, how many men are in this room? I didn't see any females raise your hand. Next time you hear that word, you should raise your hand. My right hand is a bit up. But man is a spiritual word. Male and female is a physical manifestation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've perked your imagination. I hope you have seen that there is something greater going on out there that you need to understand. My book, Identity Crisis, I only got 3 more copies here. It keeps selling out because people are reading it and recommending it to other people. I really, truly advise you to get it. It's in all the Christian bookstores. Go and find yourself. I guarantee you when you read that book, you're going to find out exactly who you truly are. Thank you.